Hi, this is Joy Pecchia, founder of BBD Leadership, guiding current and aspiring, bold, brave, dynamic leaders. Today I'm presenting your LeaderSnip video. These videos are focused, results-oriented snippets of learning that provide applicable, immediate benefit to the leader who wants to aim high and think big. This LeaderSnip video is about communicating on a conference or webinar call. We do this all the time, especially now. For internal calls, client calls, partnering calls, every day, over and over again. There can be numerous challenges to super effective and/or efficient communication by conference or webinar call. And here are two of them with suggested resolutions. Number one, we conclude the call or webinar without all the answers to our questions, or we have to ask the same questions several times. Why? Maybe because we're asking too many questions in the same breath. This is particularly true of the people who are queuing up a call or leading the conversation. We will ask a whole string of 3, 4, sometimes up to 6 questions in a breath. What happens? We get the answer to the last question, and the others just lay there. We either have to ask again or get off the phone or webinar with unresolved questions. Why does this occur? Often we're not prepared sufficiently ahead of time and rely on stream of consciousness talking during the call. Or we're fond of talking and less enamored with listening. So what's the fix? Absolute maximum number of questions in one string is 2. And that's if they are either or questions. So something like, would you prefer to respond to the open issues on this call? Or would you like to schedule another time to discuss? Otherwise, ask one question, wait for the answer, and then move to the next question. If the question was worth asking because you need the information, then it's worth waiting for the answer. If you really don't need the answer, then don't ask it, as that just causes frustration to the listener and is basically an auditory space filler. Number 2, it's difficult to hear and/or understand people on your call or webinar. Why? Our mouths are not pointed toward the speaker, or we're distracted by something else and mumbling. Maybe we're eating, or we're really tired that day or the time, and it just might be that we're talking softly because we have low energy or we're just not engaged. So what happens is nothing good. Lots of frustration by the listeners who have to work just to hear you and will likely miss the content because of that. So time is wasted with I can't hear you and the need for repeating. And the worst is making others wonder why they're taking time to listen when the caller doesn't appear to them anyway to even be engaged. So what's the fix? When clients are the offenders, we can only say several times I can't hear you and hope they take corrective action. And internally, we can make sure that our mouths are pointed at the speaker on the phone, computer, or device during the entire call or webinar. And we can demonstrate respect for others, their time and agendas, by paying full attention with an appropriate energy level. Since conference calls and webinars are the way of life and business for us, it's certainly in our best interest to conduct and participate in these as well as we can. So if you have a question you'd like answered, email joy@beyondbbd.com and I'll be happy to respond with some BBD LeaderSnip tips. Just one question though.